Now I'm live. So today we are painting Lord of Change and some other Tzeentch models. Oh yeah. So first, I'm actually going over the entire model with white scar white. So the reason for this is because my spray rattle can actually left a grainy film on him. So I use the cheap spray. Always use the cheap spray. And so because I used the cheap rattle can, it left that graininess on him. So I cleaned all the graininess off, and then as a matter of fact, it wiped some of the paint off of parts of the model. And so now I've got super watered down white scar that I'm just kind of hitting the whole model with, just to get the white back on all the pieces before I hit it up with my good old watered down contrast. Oh, excuse me. And so hopefully you guys were here last night when I discovered how I was going to actually paint this guy. And so I can't wait. I'm so excited to actually paint him. I've got nobody viewing me right now, which is fine. But yeah, it's also middle of Sunday. I'm sure everybody's out at game stores or whatever. But like I said, I like to live stream painting because it keeps me accountable. And for you guys that come back and watch it later, maybe it'll help out something somewhere. Oh man. Yeah, this spray can that I used was really bad this time. Really bad. So I'm using all the rest of the white scar from the pot that I have, which it's really super watered down white scar like, because it's what I use to fill up the dropper bottles. But it should be good enough to at least cover up the parts that I rubbed away. But I'm going to hit this entire model with it. Oh yeah. I didn't realize how much of the model I missed with the spray can. Now I'm painting it, it's like, wow, holy moly. Using a nice broad brush to do this. And so the idea for this guy, like I said, multiple times on a lot of different formats, is to do like a watercolor scheme. And so last night on stream, I messed around with the contrast colors on some other models, and yeah, I think my idea will work. Which I cannot take full credit. I have talked to many parties and gotten much feedback on my idea for painting, and my buddy Riddick was the one to give me the idea of using contrast. And oddly enough, contrast is the thing that's going to give me the effect that I want. But first I need to go ahead and get all this white done. Now normally I don't mind if the a bit of gray shows through, you know, because it actually oddly enough, gives me some depth to the color. I've talked about this before on other streams, but this time though, I missed way too much of the model somehow. Like I said, it was my can of spray. My can of spray was not very good this time. That's the crappy part about cheap spray paint, is that while cheap and it can be super, super good, I've actually been asked multiple times what paint I use because of the coverage. But at the same point though, you get cans that where, like, because I shook the hell out of this can, and obviously I missed a lot of the model, so oopsie. But almost done touching up the wings. So I'm going to finish the wings. Now I'll move down to the body and the feet. Here in a minute, I'm going to actually have to use the my dropper bottle of white, which is a lot. It's thicker than this. It's still watery, but I'm going to have to thin it down a little bit more because I don't want it to muck up any of the details of this model, you know. The whole idea of this white was just basically fill in where the spray missed. And this white is super, super watery, which is good because that means it's not going to muck up any of my details. It's going to cover exactly what I want it to do. Hopefully it'll get rid of the whatever graininess was left on the model itself. And yeah. And white is really good color to start from for your contrast colors. Now obviously you can base coat whatever colors you want to get different shades of contrast. So, except for black. I mean, you can't, I mean, you could base coat black and then paint over it like gray or something and go from there, but yeah. But anyways, so I've gotten the wing. Nope. I gotta do this wing. I didn't finish this wing. Let me go ahead and adjust the camera because I know you guys can't really see what I'm doing right now. Like I said, I'm just pretty much going over everything with this white. White Scars white is probably my favorite, or white in general. I've actually base coated literally every model white. Even for my darker models, I'll base coat them white and then I'll paint them black to get the black base coat on them, and that's just the way I prefer to do it. I got some white. The white kind of dripped off and got on my hand, which is fine. That means the white is not going to overwhelm any of these details, and so it's going to do exactly what I want, which is to basically cover up all the places this stupid spray did not work. Hi, Archer. My roommate's dog is visiting me right now. What are you doing down there, buddy? Huh? What are you doing? I can hear you sniffing. Oh. I have the window open slightly, so he's over here sniffing at the window. white scar's almost out. Sad day. Which is fine. I should probably buy a new pot anyway. Yeah. Alright. So there's that. Alright, getting the other leg. Getting these Tzeentch symbols on the back of his legs here. And hitting that up right there. Voila. Alright, getting his scroll and stuff. So I'm grabbing some of the leftover white that kind of dripped down the model and just kind of, I'm just sloppily putting this on here. I'm not being neat at all. I'm just kind of just going everywhere. Yeah. My super watered down white is pretty much empty. Yep. So let me go ahead and grab the dropper. So I have a dropper of white. And so I need to actually add some water to it because it's not watery enough. Super watery. Nah, I might have done too much water. Nah. So now it's almost like super watered down glue. Here we go. There we go. Alright. Alright, pick him back up. Alright, there we go. Yeah, man. This like rubbed off lots of white right here. Ugh. Pretty terrible. I might actually have to go over this guy twice with white just to properly cover up all the places that just kind of got that can of spray. It was really bad. Ugh. Never had a model be this bad, man. And go figure, it would be the Lord of Change, my favorite model. That's cool. That's alright. We can salvage this. We can absolutely salvage this. I would actually like to get this guy done. That way I could take him to... so I have a second GT in December. And... so, you know, this GT that's coming up, I'm taking the Demon Engines list. Ta-da! Which I don't think that was any... that's not a secret, I don't think. But, so I think I would love to take this guy to my next GT after that, which is the one in December. Now I still need to figure out a list that I'd like him in, because I like him with Ahriman. It's just so I have a painted 30k Ahriman which I could run, but I'm finding more and more I like Ahriman on a disc. I do think it's still overcosted, like 30-something points is still quite a bit just to give him 12-inch movement, but it does allow him to get to places when I need him. And Ahriman can be quite a beat stick, you know. As a matter of fact, yesterday he killed a Demon Prince by himself. It's that straight 3 damage staff, man. Just bonk. I always say he bonks people. Because that's how I imagine Ahriman kills people. He just walks up and just touches his staff to their heads. Hey, what's up, Colton? Yes, it is. It is super amazing. If you haven't had a chance, man, I gave you a welcome to the Patreon family on the live stream, which I did just before this. The white actually got on my computer, so I'm wiping it off real quick. Oops. All right. But yeah, no, welcome, Colton. I'm glad to have you here, man. And glad to have you as our newest patron. So, and I did send you a message on Patreon, so hopefully you got it. Hopefully you got it. So right now I'm just touching up this model with white because my spray can was not very good. And so basically I need to hit every part of the model with white again. Yeah. And so I've gotten pretty much his whole body, I think. Yeah. So I need to actually let this stuff dry. So we'll let him dry real quick. So we've hit the whole entirety of the model with white again. And we'll let him dry, and then maybe I gotta go touch him up again. So my white scar is empty. Sad day. Go buy some more. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you for being a believer in the channel. And hopefully, so also want to recommend, because you said that you are a World Eaters player and you love the World Eaters because you posted on the Discord channel. But I did cover 2 World Eaters lists this week in the live stream, so might be something to go take a peek at. Maybe you'll get some ideas for a list to run. Hey, what's up, underdog? Welcome, welcome. So today we are painting up some Tzeentch models. And so I've just base coated the Lord of Change with white again. I think I have to touch them up one more time with white. But last night I painted these guys up. Oops, sorry. So I painted these guys up, and I'm doing a wet blend of contrast colors, as a matter of fact. And I realized that I actually missed some parts on him, so I'm going to actually go back over them with yellow real quick to hit them back up. Just hanging out painting today. Need to actually, like, was clearing out the garage this morning with my roommate, so I need to take a shower anyway, but my hands are covered in white paint now. Ah, man, I got it all over the computer. Should probably place the computer a little further away. Ah, well. It's on there now, right? Not much I can do about it. But welcome, underdog. So I went ahead and mixed 4 drops of yellow contrast with 2 drops of the medium. That way it's nice and watery and it's shaded down. Hey! And I'm just touching up the areas that I missed with yellow. So I actually didn't miss anywhere with the blue. So the way I accomplished this effect, if you guys were not part of the live stream last night, is I would put the blue contrast on, and then I put the yellow contrast on really fast. So I super water down the contrast, and then just very quickly, and then I just kind of moved the colors together, and it created this really cool like wet blend. Turned it green, and as a matter of fact, it made a green contrast in between them, which is really freaking cool. And so they actually turned out really neat. And so my Tzeentch models are going to be all rainbowed up. The Lord of Change and the Flamers, at least. The pink ones I've already kind of done contrast pink, so they are what they are. The blue ones I use blue contrast and then I highlighted over them. So my blue horrors are contrast painted with just a highlight. But actually I'm a huge fan of the contrast because they give me the watercolor effect I was looking for. I've been talking about it for a while now. That I want the Lord of Change to look like he's been just like painted into reality. And so that's what I'm going for right now. Alright, so touching up these flamers. Morning coffee and email thing before work. No, man, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for stopping in. I'm glad. So I ran out of my yellow. This stuff dries up really, really fast. So I brought both of my remaining flamers over here. That way, when I go ahead and contrast them up, that it doesn't dry so fast that I have to keep mixing more and more and more, you know. Paints are expensive. Alright. So hitting the bottom of their chins. And the neat thing is, too, when you go over contrast multiple times, it kind of like, especially if you do different, you can pretty much highlight and shade with contrast if you just keep using different layers of different thicknesses, you know what I mean? Because by adding the medium, it greatly, it not only waters it down, but it lightens it up quite a bit. And so, if you touch over something multiple times, it'll pretty much you can like pre-shade things or build up layers of color without, you know, advanced techniques, more or less. But and voila. And so you guys can see I've got that gradient going, and now it's actually going to darken up the yellow flames a little bit more. And so the flames for these guys, I'm still trying to think of what I want to do with them. I think I want to do like Hex Wraith Flame on them. Because the green is just like a transition color between the blue and the yellow. And the body I'm going to highlight. So I actually am going to do a green highlight on the green areas, a yellow highlight on the yellow areas. And so for the flames, I think I'm going to go over them with White Scar and then do Hex Wraith Flame and then highlight those with like probably a moot green. That's what I'm thinking. And so the flames are going to be green on these guys, and then yeah, and then the bodies are going to be like the rainbow color from blue to yellow. I think it'll look cool. And the green's going to be different, you know, because Hex Wraith Flame is a lot lighter than this green contrast that it's pretty much turned into between the areas. So it'll look really, really cool. Alright, so I've touched up the flamers real quick. Next I have this guy, my change caster. And so I did red contrast with him, super watered down. So these were test models last night to test out some ideas. I'm reading your comments real quick, Colton. Finally jumping into the hobby. I've been watching battle reports and reading armies since 2000. Wow. Holy crap. Huge lore head. Getting my army going and competing has really become my main hobby and daily goal. No, that's awesome, man. It's awesome to be super excited about it. I'm glad to have you here, and glad that you are part of the Heretic Wargaming community. And so hopefully some of my content helps you out in your journey to becoming an amazing World Eaters player. Definitely get out there, get those berserkers on the field. Get some blood for the Blood God. I love lore. I'm not a huge lore head, though. I never have been on any game, really. Like, played World of Warcraft for years. I mean, I followed the lore, but I was not, like, a huge into it, I've always been more part of the gaming side of things. And now I'm getting more into the hobby side of things, but I'm definitely more of a gamer type. But I'm getting better at the painting side. I mean, I can hold my own somewhat. Alright, so I've touched up the red on him. Oh, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. I missed his horn. Missed the backside of the horn. There we go. And so I'm basically doing like two parts red, or 2 parts contrast to 1 part medium, and that's how I'm getting the super light colors that I'm aiming for. Oh, how are you doing, Lord of Change? Lord of Change is still drying, so keep going. You can bug me all you want, man. I will answer your questions. That's what I'm here for, right? Alright, so right now I've got the Flamers and the Lord of Change. So Lord of Change I might have to do 1 more coat of white on, but... So, here's my blue horrors. So last night we went ahead and did Talisar Blue. So contrast Talisar Blue, and then I went ahead and highlighted them with Lothran Blue. And so that's how I got this baby blue, like nice pastel. I wanted them to look kind of like translucent blue, like blue puff clouds. And so, yeah. And I've pretty much achieved what I wanted to. So now I've got to go through, I've got to hit up their nails, I've got to hit up the tongues and the weapons. And their little bracelets too. They got some bracelets on them, so this shouldn't be too hard. So let me get some thin brushes. And so I'm just doing this as a way to basically fill in time while the Lord of Change dries. So whenever I'm painting, I'll paint multiple models. That way I'm always engaged. Because otherwise, if I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, ugh. And then I lose motivation to paint stuff. So for the bracelets, let's do a coppery. Is that my lightest one? That's a gold. That's gold too. That's brown right there. Sorry, I'm looking for a color right now. Bronze. Talisar gold. You know what? We'll do lead belcher. Where's my lead belcher? Do I have some left in the dropper? I do. So we'll actually do lead belcher for the silvery parts real quick. So let's go through and we'll do all the silver parts. Alright, so you said a lot of stuff. I'm lucky enough to live in Portland and there's a ton of comp. Yeah, that there is. There are 2 tournaments a month. Wow, that's really good. Arm question drills. Why am I not seeing them as much? They seem extremely powerful. 3-inch of auto wounds. What are you talking about, auto wounds? So if you're talking about termite assault drills, so they can't deploy turn 1 anymore. They have to deploy turn 2 with their deep strike ability. And they are extremely powerful. They're extremely strong. I like them. They are extremely good. The reason why you don't see a lot of them is because the models are incredibly expensive. And they are kind of pricey as far as points. They work really well for berserkers though, so if you're doing world eaters, you can actually make good use of those drills. But a lot of people have actually been using rhinos lately, oddly enough. And so while he answers me, I'm going to go ahead and... So I'm starting to hit all the weapons with silver. So this is just lead belcher. So I'm going to hit the weapon and their bracelets with silver, because the bracelets to me would be silver. Now they have like little, almost like hair ties on their tentacles for their heads. So I'll probably hit that with like a yellow, because I think yellow would actually be a nice, nice contrast color here. And the weapons I'm going to keep super simple. I'm just going to do lead belcher, and then I'm going to hit them with null and oil, and then once they dry, I'm going to go ahead and highlight with some silver. Storm Host silver. That's the silver I always highlight with. One drill has 12 inches of mortal wounding on deployment. I'll have to look at that, Colton. I don't actually know what you're talking about as far as mortal wounds when they deploy, unless it's like one mortal wound or something. I'd have to pull that up. So send me that question in Patreon or whatever, and I can actually answer that specific question. I'm not familiar with the drills doing mortal wounds when they come out of deep strike. So I have never painted anything Eldar. Not once, not ever. My roommate has mentioned that so me playing this, and my roommate has been looking at my models and stuff, and he was talking to me about it the other day, and he said if he were to play, Eldar would probably be the army he'd play. So I might end up, if he does end up playing, and I try to help him paint stuff or teach him, then yes, I might end up painting some Eldar stuff. Which actually, the way that I've been painting these guys would lend itself very well to painting Eldar. So, okay, yeah, if you could find that, Colton, because like I said, off the top of my head, I didn't know that they did mortal wounds. So, right now painting a Wraith Knight. Oh, nice. Are you did you buy the Wraith Knight for him, or is it just like you're like, hey man, I'll paint your Wraith Knight. That'll be your Christmas gift. That's pretty nice of you, because that's actually pretty time consuming. Knights are always very time consuming. Yeah, Colton. Yeah, I'll talk to you later, man. Yeah, definitely send me that question, and I'll answer it. I do think drills have a lot of merit, though. I've talked about them several times. I didn't know that they did mortal wounds, but because I know they have the milt on the front of them. But yeah, no, they definitely are good. And so if you're looking at getting one or two, I could definitely back that up with some berserkers in them. Doing some damage. And so I'm keeping these horrors super simple. I'm not going like crazy on these. Just simple silver weapons, and then I'm going to do like white teeth, white nails. I'll probably do bone white actually for the teeth and nails. And then, yeah. So I'm doing all the silver parts right now, just because the I like to stay with one color at a time while I have it still wet. Oh wow, that's really cool. No, that's super awesome of you, man. Like, I'd be happy if somebody bought me a knight and painted it up and gave it to me for a gift. That'd be freaking awesome. No, that's super awesome. You're a good friend. You are a good friend. How are you painting up the Wraith Knight? Is it are you doing like a lot of freehand on it, or are you just painting it like bold, just solid colors? Like I said, I'm hitting up the bracelets, the weapons, anything that I would think might be metallic. I mean, really, I could have left these all blue and it would have been fine, but I want to pick out a few details just so that way, because I'm going to hit up the eyes. I'm going to hit up the eyes. Actually, I'm going to do the what is the flame color, the blue flame color. It is slightly different from the contrast. Like, it's actually quite a bit different. And so I want to do the eyes like that flaming blue. So that way they still look kind of the same as the blue horror itself. But, because I mean, blue horrors are just magic main manifest, you know? Just like gibber thing. They say gibberish at people and then charge them and throw little magic balls of flame at them. So, but yeah, I just hit the bracelets and his little anklet there and his weapon, and that's it. So, hey, morning, Failer. Welcome. I know you were saying you were painting some stuff, and I'm painting some stuff too. Yeah. So let's go ahead with this guy next. Just freehanding. A lot of weird Eldar stuff, pipes and such, and they are easy to paint. Yeah. No, that's awesome. And that's definitely different from, because I know a Wraith Knight's kind of an older model. And while I love the details on some of the newer models, like I love these new horrors, but a lot of these details can become incredibly overwhelming. Especially for a new painter. Like on my Death Guard, when I go back and look at like the ones I first painted, I think I went too crazy. I was like, oh, I have to paint all these tubes differently and all this stuff, so it ends up being a lot of colors. And now I realize simpler is usually better, because not only does it look good, but it saves me time on painting. But that is super cool of you to paint a knight for your buddy. Yeah. And so hopefully you guys don't think I'm ignoring you, because I'm not. I'm just, especially when you're painting these little bracelets and stuff, you got to make sure that you don't stray too far from them. And I don't have the steadiest hands in the world. And so the guys with the beaks, I am going to actually do their beaks yellow. I almost feel like I should bring all the pink horrors up here too and just knock them all out, you know? Because the pink horrors are pretty much being painted exactly like the blue horrors, except, you know, their main color's pink. And so for the flames for the blue horrors, I'm thinking of doing pink, and then for the flames for the pink horrors, I'm thinking of doing blue. And then that'll go ahead and tie them together, you know? And pink and blue actually looks good together. I'm not good with like the color wheel and stuff. People like to spout color theory, and guys are definitely really good at this stuff. I just know what I like, and so that's kind of, which I know that's what color theory represents. You know, what's natural to the eye, and what's more pleasing, what combinations, because there's certain colors that clash and look ugly. But yeah, because I mean, red and yellow go together, right? But that looks like McDonald's. Like, that's literally the only thing I can think of when I see a blue and yellow model is McDonald's or red and yellow. Which is why when I did that change caster in red with the yellow belly, I kind of minimized it because I didn't want it to be so powerful that people are like, oh, that's McDonald's right there. Like, so the yellow part of him is very, very minimal, but it's enough that I was able to test out my theory for the red and yellow. So I'm going to get through these 4 blue horrors, and then I'm going to go ahead and check the Lord of Change and see if the white's dry. And then Lord of Change is going to need 1 more coat of white before I can even begin to start on him. Yeah. But I am always of the belief that you work on multiple models at a time, because you're always waiting on stuff to dry. Oh, hi there. Yeah, working on a Tartaros Terminators. No, that's pretty cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw your War Dogs. They look really, really good. All right, Colton. Wanted to post that rule. Breaching Tremor. When this model arrives from the battlefield, performing subterranean assault, enemy units within 12 inches suffer a single. Yeah, so the mortal wound thing is meh. That's why I didn't really remember it. But the main reason you use a Hellforged Termite is because of its high toughness. It's basically like a super tough rhino. Now, like I said, you cannot arrive until turn 2. So if you want those berserkers to be on the field and get up the field earlier, you're crap out of luck. So if you're going to build a list around the termite assault drills, another thing is you got to watch out for infiltrators, which are a marine unit that prevents deep striking within 12 inches, meaning your berserkers cannot get within range to actually charge stuff. So that's also another thing. Now, you can start the termite drills on the field with the berserkers in them, but they move slower than a rhino. So that's actually why we're seeing a lot more rhinos right now. And it's I want to say it's mostly because of those infiltrators. I am a huge fan of the drills. I believe that they definitely have a place in our army. But that is a risk you are taking. So, especially being a World Eaters. Now, as a World Eaters player, a new one, obviously you're going to want to center your army around berserkers. But you definitely want to look at getting some range support in there. So some Havocs, some Obliterators, stuff like that are definitely some models to look at initially while building up that force. And then obviously do a ton of troops. Lots of berserkers, because berserkers are really good. Like, they really are very, very good. But in this meta, I would definitely, and we talked about a couple of lists today, and both of them ran rhinos, and I could see why. I think the assault drill is good, but with you can't run the risk of running into infiltrators and basically negating the entire reason of your list, you know. Unless you can kill upwards of 10 infiltrators, which is not as easy as it sounds. Especially depending on what chapter they are. I've faced both Iron Hands and Raven Guard infiltrators, and Raven Guard ones are a pain in the ass. Raven Guard everything's actually kind of a pain in the ass. 2-up armor save vehicles. Bogus. That's why I kind of wish I was running Iron Warriors. Because Iron Warriors get to ignore that damn cover bonus they get. Oh, hey, what's up? Use the psychology of colors on your opponent. Make them hungry. That is true, yes. Now they're super hungry and now they can't focus on the game. And I win. That's actually a great idea. That is a great idea. And it was weird too. I actually listened to like a psychology podcast the other day, and they were talking about like lighting, and we always associate red with like anger and like grr, and blue with being happy or relaxed. And actually, they've psychologically proven that red is more relaxing than blue as far as lighting goes, which is really odd. It's just the association of blue to that is why people think that's why people don't think that. And so it's pretty cool. Now blue to me is more pleasing in general. I like blue. I've actually grown to really, really love yellow. Like yellow is probably my favorite color right now. It used to be green, but now it's definitely yellow. Like, I love yellow. It just is so awesome. And it looks really good on models. Like, when you can do yellow really, really well. Alright. So I've gotten the bracelets and the weapons done for 4 horrors. Except for the flames. Obviously, I skipped the flames. So, ooh, what's going on? At some point, consider getting Forge World goodies like... So, while I agree, Valentine, I would love to get more Forge World models, but I am but a lowly technical sergeant in the United States Air Force, and I also have to pay 2 rents right now because my wife's in med school, so Forge World models are kind of a bit out of my price range, unless I can convert them. Like a chitin, I obviously cannot convert. That is not one that would be easy to convert, so but I agree. So, is it viable to walk berserkers up the field? So, not really. So I will say, Colton, you're going to lose a lot of those berserkers walking up the field. Now, if you do run like warp time in your list, then it could be a thing that you do where you warp time some berserkers up. But if you're doing pure world eaters, that means you're not going to have psychers in the list. So definitely look at rhinos. You want to get some rhinos for those berserkers if you're going to be running lots of berserkers. So, but yeah. Oh wow, I did not know that, Failer. Huh. That's pretty cool. So blue zergers? Blue zerkers? Is that what you're talking about? Blue berserkers? Are we talking about blue berserkers? That'd be kind of cool. Checking on Lord of Change real quick. He's almost dry. He's still got a little bit of wetness. And I can see some places I need to hit him up with white again. So the reason why I'm putting white on the Lord of Change, for you guys who joined kind of later in the stream, is my spray can decided to be super grainy. And so because it was super grainy on him, I had to go ahead and wash him with... So I basically put just water on the brushes and I just kind of ran it over the model. And it removes the graininess, but as a result, it removes some of the base coat. And so essentially I have to go back over the entire model to make sure that he's fully base coated before I commit to any more. And so basically I'm using the White Scar white to go over him. Sorry, I'm using some of this pooling white. It's pulled up at his feet to hit up some spots that the paint has kind of fallen off of. And so I got to go over him one more time. Yeah, I can see a lot of places where the white didn't stick quite as much as I would have liked, but he needs to actually dry more. So I can't wait to get him painted though. He's gonna be awesome. He's gonna be so super cool. All right. So back to some blue horrors while that guy finishes. So I'm painting a whole unit of 10. But hopefully that helps you out there, Colton. Now, these are all obviously my opinion, so my opinion does not always mean that I'm right. Other people definitely have more experience with models like Berserkers than I do. But the few times I have used Berserkers, they definitely do damage. It's just, gotta get them there, man. You just gotta get them there. I need to actually get more rhinos. That's another thing I need to get. There's so many models I need. Ugh. Ugh. It's like never ending. I honestly don't think that there's any point in time where you will ever have all the models that you need. Unless you've been playing this game since forever ago. Which is why they always release new stuff. But I'm a huge fan of demon engines, so that's where I've been mostly focusing stuff lately. My other issue is that I've picked up so much stuff that I haven't had a chance to really paint it all, so I should probably slow down on buying models and actually start painting them. That's why I'm doing these paint streams. Because it actually gets me to start painting some of the stuff that has been laying on the shelf forever. And so we finished Mortarion last time. Which, trust me, he's been getting a lot of compliments. So kudos to you guys who have been part of these streams since the beginning. Because obviously, us working together, we got Mortarion done and out on the table. And people are liking him, so getting other people to start hopefully painting their Mortarions and other big critters. Because a model can be impressive, but it's way more impressive when it's actually painted. Like I'll even go so far as a crappy paint job is better than no paint job. Alright. And when you get them all, Primaris CSM. Yes, exactly. I don't think we're going to ever see Primaris Chaos Space Marines, honestly. I think we're going to see something unique for us. I honestly don't want to see Primaris CSM. Honestly, our possessed Chaos Space Marines should be pretty much our version of Primaris, you know what I mean? Because they are 2-wound Marines. But they just play into the whole, like, we're berserk and we're possessed by these demons, and instead of, like, gaining powers from the demons, they're just pretty much, like, they grow mutations, you know? Which is cool, but, like, it should be more, I don't know. Like, I kind of feel like what they did with Havocs. So if you look at the new Havoc models and you look at the new Obliterators, it's almost like a Havoc is an evolution of a Chaos, like a Chaos Space Marine with a heavy weapon. It's almost like it fuses into him to become a Havoc, and then it's almost like those weapons fused more into him to become an Obliterator. Like they've gotten more blessed, and I kind of like that storyline. You know, like as the Chaos Marine, it fights more and more battles, and you know does his job. You know, becomes more and more blessed by the dark gods, that he gets more powerful, but as a result, you know, he changes into a different model. So like the possessed could be our close combat variant of like Havocs, you know, make him toughness 5, 2 wounds, but give him something like new, you know what I mean? even if it's like they get some gun weapons, but they're like assault guns or something based on their god, or I don't know. Spitballing here. But I think that we pretty much have Chaos Primaris. It's just in the form of possessed. Okay. So this guy, his tentacle band, it looks kind of metallic, but it's not. So I'm gonna leave it. Was there some illusions? Yeah, I don't remember. I mean, we could obviously. Primaris is the future, because there's been talks of like, oh, the Alpha Legion, have infiltrated, and there's already Chaos Primaris out there. It's just we haven't seen them, and so there's a lot of things, but I don't know. I like the idea of not following the Space Marines anymore. I like the idea of making Chaos their own thing, Like, it's cool that we have the same options as Marines, and we should. I mean, obviously stuff that's heresy level or whatever, or we should have those options. But Marines should have their things, and we should have our things too, So if Marines want to have Primaris Marines, cool. Like, they can have Primaris Marines, and we can have something else. But it should be, equivalent to what a Primaris Marine would be in power level. Because really, all the Dark God stuff that we've gotten, we should be more powerful than a normal Marine. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's true. I love Dark Mechanicus, and I would definitely play them if we were to see that book release. I know there's is it Phaler? Are you the one that's building the Dark Mechanicus / Mechanicus? I know somebody on the Discord is. I can't keep everybody straight all the time. I got so much stuff going on. Trying to keep just a normal average week straight becomes a struggle some days. Yeah. Sorry, I'm hitting up this anklet on this guy, but it's like the swirl anklets are kind of cool. Like, they're very Egyptian, but God, are they a pain in the butt to paint. Alright, there we go. There we go. Got it. Ooh, hi there. Okay. Hey, what up, Raptor? Actually, we're painting Tzeentch models today, so, late to the stream. How are you late to the stream? Like I said, these are spontaneous streams. And so, I know people are randomly popping in and out. And so, last night, I did this, a wet blend of flamers. And so this is kind of the idea. I was going with the Lord of Change. It gives it a watercolored look, which I really, really enjoy. And so this is what we're going to be doing eventually to the Lord of Change. So today, we're just, right now I'm painting blue horrors as the Lord of Change dries. I had to hit him up with white again. And so, yeah, I'm just doing all the bracelets and anklets and stuff and weapons for a unit of 10 blue horrors real fast. So I'm just doing them all with just lead belcher. I'm keeping the blue horrors super simple. So I'm gonna have to go back over all their little hair ties. Like I said, I want to do all their hair ties yellow. And then I'm just going to wash Null and Oil. It's going to be super easy for all the metals. And then highlight with Storm Vermin. And then I do need to go through and paint all the teeth and the eyes and stuff too. So pretty much I'm going to do stages of painting on these blue horrors in between bouts of waiting for the Lord of Change to actually dry. Man. So there's this one blue horror in the unit, and the way he goes together, like for some reason it left a gap, like a jagged gap down him, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's a little too late to go back and like gap fill it. Ugh. It almost looks like he's cracking apart. I gotta get his weapon, I get his bracelet, and then all the silver parts should be done on all the horrors. The blue horrors, anyway. I think next I'm gonna have to tackle the pinks. So I think once the Lord of Change, these flamers, and all these guys are done, it'll be pink horrors will be next. Which I've already got their base coat done and their base highlight. It's just tackling 30 pink horrors. It's not a prospect that sounds fun. So if you guys are commenting or whatever, I will get to you guys here in a minute. Yeah. Alright, we got that. And let's get right here. Hey Raptor, did you actually get my email on Patreon giving you the links and stuff? Because I know you had asked why you weren't getting them. And so I did add you to the mailing list. So if you would let me know that you are getting them. I mean, I didn't get a message afterwards, so I'd assume that you got them, but did not get a confirmation. So just so I know that you are getting what you paid for. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Oh, no other comments. Okay. So we've got all the silver parts done on the blue horrors. Yay. Well, the base coat there. Silver base coat. Alright, let's check our Lord of Change again. Alright, so now he definitely looks like he's dried. Yes. And so there's a few parts on him that I think need another coat of white. These little horrors on the bottom, man. They're so gritty looking. Ugh. Where's my white? There it is. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me today. So the goal for this afternoon, so I'm probably gonna only paint till about 2:30 maybe. But the goal is to get all the white done on this Lord of Change, which is almost done. I would like to get all the base coats done on my blue horrors. And then maybe start on the contrast on the Lord of Change. Now the reason why I'm focusing on the blue horse so much is so anybody will tell you that in anything you do in life, right? Anything that you do, the more you feel like you're accomplished, the more you do it, right? So as an example, if if I feel like I'm hitting a wall, so I'm sitting here painting this Lord of Change and it doesn't feel like I'm making any progress, which right now it doesn't, because I'm just going over everything white. Well, you need something to feel like you're actually progressing. So by painting this with the blue horrors, it shows a lot more. When I'm painting the blue horrors, it shows a lot more results than when I'm painting this Lord of Change right now. And so what it does is, in my mind, it spurs me. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm actually getting something done. And so it makes me want to press on, right? And so that's just how I operate. You know, some people can sit there and hit a wall over and over and over again, or work on the same little bit of a model for days and be perfectly content because they're a perfectionist. Not me. I am not that, definitely not a perfectionist in that way. So yes, it was sent from YouTube rather than Patreon. So yes, that means you are getting them then. And the reason why I have to do that is, so before I would send them through Patreon, but so the way to send them through Patreon, I had to leave the video like hidden, but a hidden video people can find. And so I was getting people who were non-patrons actually viewing videos earlier than I wanted to. And so I had to go reevaluate how I was doing it. So now for the patrons, so just so you guys know, if you're a $10 or more patron, you actually get access to videos a week early. So like my next week's video that I release, you get access a week early. And so part of this also, when I start like getting more interviews done and stuff, I think I'm gonna like give you guys access to the interviews immediately. So basically, I'll conduct an interview when I get uploaded to YouTube. I'll give you guys access to that immediately, as opposed to having to wait for like a content release. Because I'm starting to realize, so if I film a battle report, you know, before when I could only get X amount of games in, I had to like kind of stagger my release schedule, and so that's kind of why I'm stuck to the one a week release, how I do it. But now that I have way too much time on my hands and I can maybe possibly get more filming done, I don't see why I should like throttle myself. And at the same point, though, so like as an example, some of these battle reports that are about to come to you guys are kind of outdated, because like my Iron Hands one, I was playing against the pre-nerfed Iron Hands. So when it finally comes out, you guys are seeing me play pre-nerfed Iron Hands, and it's going to be like a month after the nerfs have kind of gone away. So, or a month after the nerfs have gone into effect. Luckily, the list I was playing against, it wasn't anything like a meta list. It was actually completely unique. Gave me experience against a lot of models I did not have experience against. But those are actually probably the better lists to get experience against, because I'll be more prepared when I see the weird things. Because I know what a repulsor does, you know. I know what stuff like that does. But some of the models I played against, I was like, I don't know what this does. Have a lot of experience against infiltrators. I'll say that. My meta loves infiltrators, which is actually good to practice against, because that means I get to practice positioning with demons and deep strikers and stuff like that. And that's also part of why I am a huge proponent for moving over to horrors. If you have not moved over to horrors or tested out some horrors, you are wrong. And also why I'm painting Tzeentch models right now. Because I think Tzeentch has a lot of merit in the current meta. And the cool thing is, you know, so a lot of people love to run Thousand Suns Supreme Commands and stuff like that. Well, now I don't have to make a mixed Chaos list. I can do a Tzeentch list. You know what I mean? And so that actually makes the list stand out more, because now I'm not playing just a Chaos list. I am playing a Tzeentch list. So, which to me is a lot more fun. I don't like being called a soup list. I mean, I do play soup lists. but I much prefer playing a mono god list when given the opportunity. So like my Demon Engine list is technically a Nurgle list. It is not a mixed chaos list per the ITC. So, haha. Yes. And so there's a few extra spots I need to hit on the Lord of Change, and then I gotta let him dry. And then once he is dry, we can actually start painting him. Which I don't know about you guys. I am super excited to do. So I'm going to start with painting his wings. I don't know. Should I start with the wings or the body? So the body and the top of the wings are going to be blue. The main wing is going to be yellow. And I'm going to do my transition down into the green, how I did the flamers. And then I need to do red on him somewhere. So pretty much I'm going to use the 3 primary colors to paint the main body of the Lord of Change. So it's going to just be red, yellow, blue. And the combinations thereof to do like some gradient, like some fades, you know what I mean? So some wet blending. I mean, I guess I could do like blue to red to yellow. Actually, that would work. Blue to red to yellow in the wings. So I'll do that on both sides. Blue to red to yellow. And then the main body is going to be blue. So blue down in here. Out to the neck. So maybe I'll do his head red. So like red right here. Faded into the blue. And then down at the legs, I want to do yellow. I want to do yellow for the talons, the feet. So so it'll probably do like the gradient from blue into green down here. And then to the head, it's going to be like purple to red for the head. So that's the idea anyway. So that's my plan. So while the Lord of Change goes ahead and dries, so let's go ahead and hit up these horrors. So there's certain parts of them that need to be white, like their eyes, the flames. I need to go ahead and hit up with white because of how I'm going to do them. So I'm going to use white scar, white. Exactly what I've been doing for the Lord of Change. So thank you guys once again for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you guys are making some hobby progress. And as always, if you guys are a member of the Discord channel, please, please, please hop on there and share what you guys are painting, you know. Especially after these streams. I always share what we've done together on these streams on the Discord channel because especially if I'm showing like a technique or we're discussing how to do something. I know this camera's like 1080p and I know it's got pretty good, but often, so like when I did the flamers last night, they looked great in person, but I was like, man, this isn't really like translating to the camera. And so I wanted to get you guys pictures of the flamers. So that way, if you guys followed along and I'm doing a technique, you guys can actually see the finished product. So, because I learned just as much from you guys as you might maybe learn from me. I hope you guys learn stuff from me. Otherwise, I'm failing at my job. This isn't really a job. This is like a hobby. I don't make enough to call it a job, right? Or I don't make a living. There you go. A living off of doing this. So I'm just hitting up the eyes and I'm hitting up the flames. That is it. So eyes and flames. Now the reason why I'm not doing teeth is teeth and nails I'm going to do with a like a bony white. mean, I could hit him up with the White Scars White, but it's too bright for me as far as nails go. And for the eyes, I'm gonna make them look like they're flamey. So corrupting everybody, yes, that's awesome. Like I said, man, like a lot of what I learned for Chaos, it comes from just asking and talking to people and I guess I have a unique talent with I don't care if I annoy somebody. So like when I started back in 8th edition, right? So I came back after quitting in 6th edition, you know, and I'd sold all my models and I came back and shout out to the wife. So my wife, we were actually walking by the game store and I gave it like googly eyes and she's like, yeah, let's go in. And so we went in, we're walking around, you know, and Mr. Dan, our local game store guy, remembered me. And so he's talking to us. And I look over and I see the Dark Imperium box. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's the new Warhammer box, you know. And I pick it up and I'm looking at it. And my wife gives me this look and she's like, you want it? And so, bit of backstory, you know, when me and my wife got married, so I have a habit of not self-control, you know. I like when I'm into something, you know, which I'm sure a lot of people are like this. But so when she met me, I was hardcore into World of Warcraft and Warhammer. And so the fact that she put up with me that way, I'm surprised to this day. Because like literally all the time I would be either playing Warhammer or I'd be playing WoW. And so now I'm not saying I neglected her, but it probably definitely got in the way of things. And so yeah, when I'd quit Warhammer, you know, and I sold, like, I literally had thousands of dollars of models, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and sell all these. Hey, how's it going, Dave? Welcome back, man. We're continuing where we left off yesterday. But after I quit Warhammer, I started playing War Machine, and same thing. I spent thousands of dollars on models, and then I quit that game. And then after that, I started playing Pokemon cards. Same thing. Spent hundreds of dollars on cards, quit that game. And so the fact that she keeps letting me do these things shows a lot. Like, it shows her character a lot. And the fact, I mean, obviously she loves me. Even though I'm ridiculous. And I know that I'm ridiculous. So, but yeah, no, she was like, you know, we'll let you get into Warhammer again. And I just need you to promise me that you're not going to go to the store every single weekend and play every single week. So that's why I did not go every single weekend and play every single week. And then when she went to med school, she's like, oh, you can play as much as you want. It's just when you come out and visit me, you're not bringing models and you're not bringing any of that stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. And so, but that's why I get to do this all the time now. I love my wife tremendously, though. She's doing homework today. Grad school is rough. Grad school is super rough. But right now we're just painting all the flames blue or white. So I'm even doing their little mohawks white. Their little flame mohawks. Because like I said, for these guys, I'm going to do all their flames pink. And I've actually got contrast pink for that. Wow, man, I'm getting more people now than I did for my scheduled stream. So I guess today was just one of those days that people couldn't make the scheduled stream and decided to pop in and hang out with me while I'm painting. Or maybe they just saw Tzeentch and they're like, ooh, Tzeentch. But, so welcome to the stream, guys. And feel free to, like, if you guys have comments or questions or whatever about Chaos, put them in there. I've already kind of talked to it. So if you guys have not seen the weekly stream, it should be posted up right now. You guys can go watch it. I kind of addressed like the meta swings and some like lists. I covered some really cool lists this week. So I covered like a couple World Eaters lists. I covered a Death Guard list that ran foated bloat drones with flesh mowers and actually took first at an RTT, which was super unique. I've covered both lists at SoCal Open that as of 9 or 10:30 this morning were undefeated for Chaos. And so, yeah, we definitely covered some really cool stuff, some cool ground. Covered TJ Lanigan's newest list. So he did not go to SoCal Open, but he did go to an RTT this weekend. And it seems like his life's kind of gotten in the way, you know, because he's kind of fallen off, which I get it, man. Like, this game is not life. This game is a hobby. And so TJ is still a fantastic player. And I can't wait to get him on the channel, so I've actually reached out, talked to him, and we're getting him on the channel. It will happen. So I need to actually schedule that with him. But a lot of people are at SoCal Open this week, so I was kind of like laying off because I'm sure these guys are like probably watching the meta or watching the streams, trying to see what people are running to combat the Space Marine menace at the moment. Crappy part is we're not really going to have an accurate estimate because Imperial Fists and Salamanders literally just released. And so we kind of don't know what's going to work where yet. But I will say that if you're running Plague Bearers right now, Salamanders will make you incredibly, incredibly sad. Incredibly sad. Oh, did it cut out? I'm sorry. Let's see. Hold on. Cancel. Ah. Hello? 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 Is it back? Hopefully it's back. Keep painting. Keep on painting. Keep on painting. Painting, 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 painting. Okay. Huh. No, Dave, your computer broke. Maybe. Hopefully it didn't break. If your speakers didn't blow out. My beautiful voice broke your speakers. LOL. JK. Oy. But yeah, feel free to ask questions and stuff. And because right now I am literally just painting white on flames, so it's not very super exciting. There's not much to show you, you know. It's not like I'm testing out a new technique or anything. Yeah. But it'd be nice to actually get some of these blue horrors finished. Now I do need to figure out basing, so we actually talked about this last night. As a matter of fact, Dave asked me, and he's like, hey, what are you going to base them as? And I think I'm going to test out that. So a lot of people have been doing the nebula thing on like wings for Magnus and cloaks and stuff like that. So I think I might look up how people do that and do that for the bases for all the horrors. So, and that'll be like the tying together theme for all the bases. Basically, they're floating on magic. So that is the idea anyway. We'll see. We will see. Yeah. Got 4 more of these guys left to get the white on. Your audio working again, Dave? Yeah, I had to check OBS to make sure it didn't cut out or if my speaker did anything weird, or my microphone, which is over here, sitting right over here, like a foot away from me. My plan earlier was to actually go out and spray paint. I was going to spray paint all my newest models, so I actually have a Helldrake right behind me that I built, and then I have another unit of Brimstone Horrors, another unit of Blue Horrors, Dark Apostle, I have the Changeling, the Helldrake. And so I had planned on going outside, but my roommate informed me that it is going to rain, and then lo and behold, we were actually clearing out part of the garage, and it started raining. So, and thus I did not go outside and spray paint any of the models that I had planned on spray painting. Foiled again. And so for the beaks, on the beaky guys, I'm gonna do the beaks yellow. Which for the blues, there's only 2 guys with beaks, I think. Yeah, there's 2. So the beaky guys are gonna get yellow beaks, and then all their hair ties, I said I was gonna do yellow, so I'm gonna do yellow hair ties too. Which the hair ties are just like, they have like little bands almost over their little tentacles on their head. So I just call them hair bands because that's kind of what they remind me of, like the little scrunchies that girls wear. And then I'm gonna paint those yellow too. I like yellow and blue together. Yellow and blue is a super cool combo. I know it's like ultramarines, but I like it. I like it a lot. Where the hell's his finger go? So some of these models, like, it's really hard to tell where one part ends and another part begins. So like these guys have these scrawny fingers and they just kind of like end in the fireball, and I can't tell if they're through the fireball or if they're at the fireball. So I kind of do the best I can. I might have went over the fingers a little bit, but I don't know. Nobody's going to really notice that. Yeah, that is weird, man. That is weird. Hopefully hopefully I didn't hit like a blip in the internet or something. Hell yeah, it is. It's my favorite model, and I can't wait to get to him. Can't wait. I've noticed a lot of my viewers have died off. No. I'm boring everybody. Ah, well. Y'all can be bored. We're just hanging out painting right now, man. Nothing super exciting. Maybe they're off watching the live stream from earlier. Hope that's what they're doing. Watch the live streams from earlier. But yes, the Lord of Change is easily my favorite model. Highly recommend, even if you guys are not a fan of whatever gods. The Greater Demon models in general are just all so cool. Now you might think, like, why didn't you go get a Great Unclean one, you know? Because obviously I love Nurgle. Nurgle is my man. But the reason I have not gotten a Great Unclean one is because they really suck. They really do suck in 40k. They're really good in Age of Sigmar, I'm told, but yeah, in 40k they're just not very good. Oh crap, I missed a bracelet on this guy, so I'm gonna actually have to hit him up with silver real quick. And so the reason why we got the Lord of Change first is the Lord of Change is by far the most playable of the Greater Demons, in my opinion. Now we have been seeing people running multiple keeper secrets and doing pretty well because they are well costed for what they do as far as points go, but a lot of people don't want to run out and buy 3 keeper secrets, because that's a lot of money. That's $450 if you buy them at full retail. So, which is a lot of money for a few models, few plastic models. Now, I mean, we can all justify it, especially guys who play this game. We find ways to justify how much we spend on these plastic things. My wife doesn't get it. She looks at me and she's like, "You spent how much on that?" But I try my best to support the hobby by I do a lot of secondhand, so try to save money where I can, but then support GW when I can too. So, and definitely go to the local stores. Try to buy locally and not on Amazon when I can, but all right. So the Lord of Change is now dry. Alrighty. I think the time has come. The time has come. Alright. So let me go ahead and move these blue horrors out of the way. So the blue horrors are going to go ahead and dry. Now, one thing that I have been telling myself I need to go get is a normal palette, because actually the lid, so this is the lid to my wet palette, is just so covered in paint now because I use it as a normal palette. But I need to actually go buy one. Alright, so there we go. Now, so like I said, the main parts of the Lord of Change are going to be blue. So, well, let's go ahead and mix up the blue first, I guess. I'm super nervous right now. I'm hoping to God I don't ruin this. Hoping to God. Alright. So blue to red to yellow. So that's how I'm doing it. Blue to red to yellow. Maybe I should start with the lower color. No, I should start with the upper color first. Alright. So you know what? I should probably do a smaller paintbrush. So I was thinking of using a large, wide paintbrush, but I think I want to control the paint a lot more. So I'm going to use a smaller, not a super small, like a kind of a medium brush. But, alright. So here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm doing about 7 drops of the contrast. And like I said, I about do 2 to 1. So my medium, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to do 5. Mix it up. It should be really light. Like you can actually physically see how light the contrast is getting when you do this. I'm actually shaking right now. That's how nervous I am because I'm about to put paint on this model. Alright, here we go. And so now I need to be really quick because I am going to wet blend this blue into my next shade, which is going to be red. And so for the blue, I'm just going to kind of go over the top. I'm just going to kind of roughly go across the top of the wing here. Up onto this talon here. And it doesn't need to be like super nice and neat, you know, because it's supposed to look like it's fading down the wing. Now I roughly want to kind of do it about the same on the other side. So I'm sorry if you guys can't really see what I'm doing right here. I'm trying to be quick because I want to keep this as wet as possible for the next color. Crap. I ran out of my blue. Oh, I need a little bit more though. All right. So blue, red is next. So I'm trying to be quick about this. So if you guys are typing anything out, which you guys aren't, but I'm trying to be really, really fast with this. All right. Need more medium. The red you have to really super thin out because it's really dark. All right, so the red. So sorry if you guys are trying to follow along, but I'm trying to be really, really fast with this. So as Dave will attest to do this wet blending, you kind of want to make sure that it's so I'm just going to do kind of one side of the wing, and then we can go to the other side, or we can do the next side here in a bit after this dries. But so there we go. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix together the red and the blue. And so as you guys can see, it's turning like purple in between the layers. And so hopefully this is kind of translating to you guys. But this is why I got to be real quick about it, is because now let's go ahead and do the yellow on the bottom. Now the yellow I'm going to actually sweep up. I'm not going to paint it down. And the reason for that is because it can bleed in really, really easily to that red. And I don't want it to bleed in until I want it to, you know what I mean? So I'm working really fast, really, really fast on this. So the yellow. So as a matter of fact, there's going to be more yellow on this wing, I think, than the other colors. But like I said, I really like yellow. Like really, really like yellow. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. And so I had to grab a bit of red and mix it with the yellow, because the red dried too fast, so it didn't actually blend the wing. And so I'm gonna just go ahead down the wing with the yellow real quick, and then I'll come back with red to blend it. So I didn't go fast enough, so it didn't do the wet blend like I wanted it to for the yellow to red transition. But so I can just kind of go down a little bit at a time down the wing and then just mix the red in, you know? Yeah, because it's like a jagged line of red now, and I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I want it to look very natural, you know? So hopefully this looks visually appealing. Hopefully it's a cool effect. Like I said, I'm pretty much just wet blending contrast colors, but it's kind of cool because when you wet blend the contrast colors together, they do mix together to make like the contrast of that color, which is really cool. It was definitely unexpected, you know what I mean? Like I expected it to fully like separate or something. And so now hold still. So now, like I said, I'm just going over kind of like roughly with red contrast to mix it into that yellow contrast. And then it gives me that orange gradient look that I was looking for. And so then I'll just pull it up into the red. And voila. So you guys can see I've got the gradient out to the end of the wing. I think I should have done one wing at a time. Shouldn't have done both wings at the same time. That's my fault. So if you guys are out there trying to copy this, do one wing at a time. Don't do them both. Otherwise, you're going to run into the situation where I ran into, where the red dried way too fast. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead to the next wing. So I'm trying to move quick. I'm just going to go ahead and do all the yellow like I did the other side. And then same thing, I'm just going to grab red and then just kind of do just where the jaggy line is. And obviously I'm going to have to come back through the wings and hit up all the little Tzeentch symbols and stuff, which I have yet to think of what I'm going to paint those as. Honestly, green would probably be pretty cool. It would make the Tzeentch symbols really pop against the rest of the wing, because there's no green in the wing. So might actually do it that way. That's where the Hexwraith Flame would be really cool for that. So. Well, I wasn't going for the Phoenix effect, but yep, I guess I'm going to have a Phoenix Lord of Change, which is not bad. Not bad at all. I don't know, what do you guys think of it? Give me your honest opinions for those who are out there. Yeah. Right. Trying to close up these contrasts so they don't dry out, man. They're so watery. Look, Tzeentch to you. Yeah! That's what we're going for, right? Now, hopefully it looks good. Hopefully it's visually striking. That's kind of what I was going for. But I like this because it does give me the watercolor look I was looking for, you know? Actually get a little bit of green down there, but yeah, I like doing this for all the Tzeentch models because it gives me, I like the multiple colors. I like the Tzeentch, you can be super colorful and they're not locked into like a one color, you know? Like you've seen Tzeentch that's all sorts of different colors and it all looks good. Like you can paint horrors really any color and they look fantastic. You can paint your Lord of Change however you want, and honestly you can't make this model look bad. But my buddy Riddick, his Lord of Change was really cool. I like how he did it. He did it more traditional though, like the blue with the yellow belly. But I want mine to stand out, you know. Mine not to look like everyone else's. So and all right. And so voila. So hopefully you guys can see it. And so we got the nice gradient from the blue down, and it actually turned pink, kind of like pinkish in the middle, and then into orange, and then into yellow, like that. So, and now I'm going to go around to the front side and do it too. So I learned from the other side. I'm going to do one. So I'm going to do one wing at a time now. Nate. What do you think?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. No, that's. I think that is working out really well for you.
Yay! It's Nate approved.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. But yeah, I mean, it did the gradient like I wanted it to, so.
Yep. Do a wet blend.
Yeah. No, it looks. Definitely turned out nice. I like it.
And you went with the full sunburst looking.
Yeah, I was not originally planning on doing it this way.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of ended up that way.
Well, do you like the way that it's working?
No, I like it. Like, I like it a lot, so. That is true. If I like it, that's all that matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is true. This is my roommate, Nate, you guys. You can hear him.
Yeah.
So. They can't see you, but they can hear you.
Got it.
You're the mysterious voice.
Yeah, they don't want to see me. They'd rather see you painting.
Ah. I'm sure people are piqued. Their curiosity is piqued. Who is Nate? Who is this mysterious individual? Colton, you're the guy that was. Sorry, there's this guy in the stream that his name is work account. I just figured out who it was. That's hilarious. So Colton is the mysterious work account guy. That's funny. I never knew that. Ah, that's awesome. Crap, this red is way too deep. Oh no, that's bad day, bad day, bad day. Ah, we got an emergency. That red was way too deep, way too deep, way too deep. Gotta thin it down, gotta thin it down, gotta get it on there. There we go. Way better. No, I'm glad you're hard at work, man. I'm glad. You know what? Hard work days mean that the day goes by faster. That's what I've found. I found when I have a slow work day, like the day just kind of drags. You just keep looking at the clock like, when do I get to go home? I mean, we all do that anyway, but... yeah. But we're getting the inside of this wing now. Going to about 2/3 of the way down. And now I'm going to grab my yellow and I'm going to do the same thing. Definitely working out better to do one wing at a time. mean, it's still drying pretty quickly, but at least I can get in here and get the fades down and stuff a lot easier, you know. I'm not trying to rush over to the other wing to get that one done. Painting with contrast is fun. I should like wear a Bob Ross wig and talk about painting happy little clouds and stuff. See here, I'm painting a happy little Lord of Change. Yeah, you see right here? We're gonna make sure this is all nice. Bob Ross is a badass painter, though. Don't care what you say about him. He's a hilarious guy just because of his attitude. But, like, that guy can paint, though. Because half the time you're watching him paint and you're like, what is he painting? And, like, just out of nowhere, bam! Forest. Bam! Rock. Like, bam! Mountain. Like, he just had that talent. Did you know he was in the Air Force, too? Silly. He retired as a master sergeant. So, maybe I'm the next Bob Ross. Never thought of that. Maybe I am. Maybe I can get so good. Happy little changes for your soul. That's hilarious. I like that. We're going to do a happy little Lord of Change. He's going to change your life. Change your soul. He's going to make sure you worship the right Chaos God. Alright. That's hilarious. Oh, man. Got a little change in reality. You know what'll fix this? Just a happy little cloud. Happy little cloud. There's no such thing as mistakes. That's awesome. I'm the Bob Ross of chaos, I guess. I don't know. So sorry, I'm blending the red and the yellow right now to kind of make like orange here in the middle of the wing. And so, voila. I'm just gonna brush a little heresy. Oh god, that's hilarious. But there we go. The inside of the wing is done, and it looks like, yep, I did get the edge of the wing. So, yeah, he's getting there. I like it. I like it. I do need to come over here real quick. I realized I missed around this symbol. Go back in and fix that. There we go. Oh man, y'all are funny. Bob Ross of Chaos. Yeah, do that. I am. I'm gonna go get a Bob Ross. I'm gonna go buy one of those costumes, Bob Ross costume, and like every week I'm gonna sit here dressed like Bob Ross. Maybe I'll get a Chaos Star put into the afro. Oh man. Oh yeah. Let's see. Okay. So I would like to just get the main colors down for the Lord of Change. Getting under his arm right now. Just kind of going around, getting his elbow. I'm being really, really sloppy with this contrast right now. I'm trying to get like everywhere. But that's why you do the skin color first, right? Sorry, sorry there. Trying to focus on this really fast, so I've been kind of quiet because I'm trying to get his chest done. So I'll answer. I know you're at work, so you're probably like, I want to talk. Trying to get this part of him done. I'll get to your question here in a minute, man. So for his arms and stuff, I'm just going to do these pure blue. I'm almost thinking I might do like the claws different color, but we'll see. Actually, I think I will. I think I will do the claws a different color. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of blue on the other side of the hand, so like that. Now what I'm going to do is do yellow claws. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here in a minute. I just gotta kind of get it on him. Also, the sun has just gotten covered up, so my lighting has kind of died down a little bit. So I have like a window in this room. Yeah, I'll get to you here in a minute, man. I see that you said no worries, but I definitely want to address whatever you had to say. Yeah. Right now I'm just trying to get these hands and stuff done. I already know how I'm going to do the other wing, so it's like right now I'm just kind of getting the main body figured. So I think, yeah, this will work out fine. So pretty much I'm trying to make it so all the colors of the rainbow are part of him, because the wings don't really have any green in them. And so with the hands and stuff, I'm blending yellow and the blue to get my green going. And so voila. So can you guys see? So I did the yellow on the belly and spread it out to green. Same with the hands. So I did the hands fading from like blue out to the yellow on the tips of the fingers. And so what it does is it differentiates it from the wings, you know, like I got the phoenix wings going. And then I think what I want to do is, I don't know if I want his head. I almost feel like the head should just go out to red. Or pink. I can do pink. Actually, pink would be pretty cool. Where's my contrast pink at? Nope, that's base. There it is. Voluptuous pink. We're gonna get some pink on this guy too. Let me finish the other wing real quick. Alright, so what did you say? So you're not much of a fluff guy. Does that mean that you're not a reader of books as well? No, I actually do read. I read all the Horus Heresy years ago. And when I got out of the game in 6th edition, I sold all those books. Bad idea. Because now I want to go back and read them. It's just really haven't had much of a chance. Now, I will say I am not much of a reader. I am more of a... well, I do read a lot. I read mostly stuff on the games themselves. As far as, like, fluff goes, like, other than Horus Heresy, like, I've got all my codexes, and I'm like, man, I should sit down and read this. But I have not really sat... I should probably do that. That should probably be something I do. Sit down and read. But no, I do need to really sit down and read some of the fluff though, because I know a lot of things have changed since back in 5th edition, and I know the fluff is what drives the story. I'm just like so obsessed with the game and like meta listing and playing the game, and yes, fluff is what got me into Chaos in the first place, you know. Because I did play them back in 5th edition, and part of 6th. I had sold the army by then. I had demons though. I did play demons in 6th edition, but and this was pre, like, I heard about the Screamer Star and all that stuff. So, but yes, I really need to get out there and. Are they the Horus Heresy ones? Or you're talking about the codexes. No, I agree. What novels would you recommend for Chaos? Other than Horus Heresy. So, honestly, I've never read a 40k novel. It was always the Horus Heresy. So when I would buy a novel, I'd rush out and buy the newest Horus Heresy book. And those are what I would read. But I will definitely take some suggestions, and I will go read some books. If my wife heard that, her jaw would drop to the floor, and then she'd be like, "Are you all right? Do I need to get you seen?" Because she loves books. She absolutely loves books. We used to go. So I won't say that I don't read. All right. So for 40k, I've always had a hard time reading. I will tell you, so my favorite novels, I saw that you responded. Sorry, I'm blending the wing right now. But so my favorite novels have always been so R.I. Salvatore, his Drizzt novels. Absolutely love them. I've read every single one. I am a big fan of Drizzt Do'Urden for D&D. Huge fan. As a matter of fact, I think that should be like the next like Tolkien-esque story that they develop into a movie, you know, like Lord of the Rings, because it would lend itself very, very well. And with D&D being as popular as it is, it would actually blow up. I'm surprised nobody's done it yet, honestly. And then Dresden Files. So Dresden Files is a novel series that follows a like wizard detective, and he's definitely not your stereotypical detective, obviously, because every time you read a detective novel, they're never like normal people. But yeah, it follows him being a supernatural detective, and they're really good, really really good novel series. So I will not say that I don't read. It's just as far as 40K lore and reading, I'm not as well versed on it. You know what I mean? And so I'm almost done with the base coating of the wings. Oh, that's so cool, man. All this dust, I'd love to see that. Are you part of the Discord channel? Because I'd love to see that galaxy pattern. So that's actually what I'm thinking of for my base pattern, is like a Nexus style pattern. Or Nebula, I think that's what they call it. But I'd love to see that, dude. Like, I'm doing more of a Phoenix pattern, I guess. Because that's what this would be considered, more of a Phoenix pattern. And so for you guys just joining me, I am doing this entirely in contrast. So this is just the skin color though. So for the Lord of Change, I'm doing his skin color all in contrast. His wings, his feathers, his arms, everything. So sorry guys, I can see that there's posting going on, but I'm trying to blend this as fast as I can. My yellow is drying up faster than I can get it on the damn model. And I need to get it blended into the red, that way it fades. Alright. So I think I've got the base yellow down as far as I want to go. So let's go back in. I'm going to blend it to the red. And so crap. So this wing's gonna be a little bit more orange than the other wings, the other side of the wing, because the red definitely carried away with the yellow a lot more. So I'm going through and touching up some of the spots that the contrast has bled together a little much. Kind of dabbing it off. I can see I've got a lot more people. Holy crap. This is popular today. Alright. And voila. So as you guys can see, I've blended fully the wing. So his hands blend from blue up to yellow on the hands. Now I'm just trying to think of how I want to do the neck, because I don't think I want the neck to be like the green blend, like the arms and the Beliar. So, all right. So they're bad compared to the novels. The core book's fluff is actually kind of bad. Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, the Plague Wars books. I've actually wanted to read those. So, yeah, I definitely want to read those. Hey, Raymond. Welcome. Welcome, Mickey. You hiding in there. I think it's funny when people actually like change their names on like the Discord or YouTube, because I get used to calling you guys one thing, one place, and then I find out you're somebody else, and I'm like, what? Damn, Reishi changing his name. Where's Reishi been at anyway? I should message him, harass him, be like, where the hell you been at? But, alright. So I think the inner thigh right here is going to be, yeah, the inner thigh is going to be yellow. So I'm going down into the leg now. So I'm not being very selective with where this contrast paint is going. I don't really care. I just want to get these nice blends that I'm going for. And then, ooh. Yeah. So I want to get these nice blends that I'm going for, and then other than that, I'm not really too picky about it. So I'm going to do on the back side here. So what I'm doing is like the inner thigh and the, so because his belly transitions from yellow to green, I'm going to kind of follow that down through the thigh down here and all the way down into like the lower part of the leg here. So I'm trying to avoid basically trying to go too far inside of the leg because I want to continue that pattern down through the rest of the model. Now on the back side of him, so like his hindquarters there where his tail is, you notice I just did blue all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of keep the blue going. Keep the blue going. No, you started collecting Custodes. Why? Why would you do such a thing? I'm just kidding. If you want to collect other models, go ahead. If you like them, go forth, prosper. You are still supporting the hobby. You are still... I've got plenty of friends who play other armies. Do I make fun of them? Yes, I do. Because Chaos is the best, right? But... I'm interested to hear why. Why you fell to the dark side. See, now I can't fault people. Like, if you got a badass deal, like just say one of your buddies is getting out of the game and he's like, oh yeah, I'll sell you this whole army for like $100, and it's like $1,000 worth of models. Well, you'd be crazy not to buy those even if you didn't play the army, you know? But I do not fault people for playing. Like, so I do just play primarily Chaos right now. But I have mentioned multiple times that were I to start a different army outside of Chaos, it would definitely be Orcs or Tyranids. What's funny is both of those play pretty much exactly like demons. And so if I were to play either of those armies, it, like... I don't know. I think it's just aesthetically they look different, and then functionally they do play a lot different, even though they're horde-based armies, which Demons is a horde-based army. But I do love... Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Ah, no. Shit. Well, I just lost a whole pot of contrast. Medium. Shit. All right. I need to stop blabbing for a minute. Sorry, guys. Crap. That's not good. Crap. Luckily, it's soaking into my little mat here, but man, that really sucks. 'Cause that's like the key to doing all this. I see the stream has not caught up to my accident yet. I'm waiting for the oh no's. So you guys can see contrast medium right there. Oh, sad day. Sad day. That really sucks. Actually, I can probably scoop some of it up. Oh man, I've already been going for 2 hours. It doesn't feel like I've been going for 2 hours yet. So like I said, the goal right now is to just get his, if I can get his skin colors done, I'll be happy. Yeah, no, Death Guard is definitely my favorite. Definitely my favorite. So Mickey, I know you donated extra to the channel this month so that you could donate a pot of paint. Well, I'm going to be using that money to buy another bottle of contrast medium. Oh, God. Just can't believe I did that in the middle of the stream, you know? Like, I thought I was going just fine, and then, boop. So that was my first faux pas for stream. My first faux pas on stream. Unless you want to count like all the times I forget someone's name or I mispronounce it, which is all the time. All right. But now, as long as you still play Chaos, Mickey, whatever, man, you can play other factions. That's cool. As long as you come back to your first love. That chaos. That sweet chaos goodness. See you later, Failer. See you later, man. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm ignoring the chat right now. After that dropped paint, I'm trying to really focus because I don't have a lot of my medium left now. And so I'm trying to, trying to accomplish this as diligently and responsibly as possible. So streaming, after I finish the base of him, I am done for the day, actually. I'm always on the Discord, though. Like, if you guys pop up on there or send me messages through there, I'll respond to you. Generally speaking, if you guys are posting during the day, I'll try to get to you guys when I can, but obviously life gets in the way too. And when I'm streaming, I ignore the Discord. My phone's right next to me, but I don't actually hop on there while I'm streaming because this is what I'm doing right now. So but yeah, read that message I sent to you there, and that'll tell you like the benefits you get as a Patreon member, and so you do get like a private stream starting next month. So I never do it the month you sign up because they actually do not charge you until the month after you sign up. Oddly enough, that's how Patreon works. So. Yeah. I feel weird scooping contrast medium off of my mat to mix it up on my thing. It's funny. All right. But yeah, if you send me a message on Discord or whatever later, I'll respond to it, and then obviously I'll be here until I finish this. Oy. So sorry, guys. I feel like a jackass now. After I spilt this, I'm all like quiet. I think I'm more embarrassed because I did it in the middle of the stream. It's like, oh no. But I am also running low on supplies now because of that, so. I'm trying to carry the theme all the way through, you know. And so that's why the feet are fading from blue to from blue to red to yellow. So basically, I'm carrying it through because that's how the wings are, and so I want it to flow that way from top to bottom of the model. Oi, let's see. I'm gonna dab some of this out. God, man. Contrasts are really cool, but they're just like washes, and they can just start gooping up everywhere. And then you gotta kind of go through with a brush and just suck up all the excess. Otherwise, you're gonna get these like deep pools of whatever everywhere. Oh yeah. No, you can bug me here all you want, man. That's what I'm here for. That is what I am here for, you know. But oh yeah, get down there. Yeah. This is turning out pretty cool though. I do like it. I do like him a lot. And I did realize I missed some parts of up above here, so I'm gonna have to go back up and touch up some spots. You know, like always, you always have to touch up certain areas of a model. Yeah. Just kind of coming through, touching up all these areas real quick. I want to definitely show you guys like where I'm at with this guy. He's turning out pretty boss, not gonna lie. Really, really happy with it. Really happy with where I'm going here. Just spreading happy little rays of chaos everywhere. Happy little rays of chaos, yes. Oh crap. Ah, man. I had blue on the paintbrush. Oh no. So I polluted all my yellow. Oh no. Okay. Oh yeah. And this model is very complicated, man. Like this is just step one of like 1,000. Is getting the skin color done. But we get the skin color done and we get to go on to more advanced things, right? Right. Voila. So I need to go through and do the head. And I gotta finish up the talons up top, so. So let's go ahead. The blue. So like I said, I'm gonna blend blue to pink on the head. but there's more stuff on top of him that requires the blue. So we're going to go back. Now my contrast medium is now thoroughly polluted on the matte, so I actually need to take this matte now, and I think it's not wash friendly. That's the crappy part. So it's a card matte. So I wish there was some way to clean it. I might have to look up online like how to clean your card matte. But so for these, I'm just going to go up all the way to the top. Hit it all with the blue. I'm not really quite sure what I'm going to do up here yet, but that's why I'm going to just go ahead and hit it all with blue. So that way, while I'm thinking about what I actually want to do, like these flames and stuff, I'm definitely going to paint different colors. It's just not quite sure, you know. Not quite sure. And these spikes, these little spikes on top of his wings, I'm obviously going to paint like probably bone colored and stuff. But the core color of him needs to be done first. I always paint skin color first, then armor color, and then all the bits and bobs from there. So skin, armor, and then move from there. And mostly because skin is usually the innermost thing, and so it's pretty much impossible to do if you've done everything else. And then armor usually lays on top of skin, so it's easier to get to. And then the bits and bobs are all the other crap. It's all over the models. And often you can skip, I don't know, I skip a lot of bits and bobs actually painting them. I don't know how you guys do yours, but I will actually skip quite a few bits and bobs. And that's because oftentimes, it's kind of like a person, you know. Like, we wear a brown leather belt, you know, and then you wear different colored pants, but often you won't notice the belt color. And so, like, for a model, you can sometimes, you know, save a lot of time by skipping painting belts or skipping painting, like, whatever. As long as you remain consistent, right? So don't just skip it on one guy and then paint it on all the rest, because then that guy's going to stand out. But that's actually how I did my, like, pox walkers. I painted, like, the belt and all the pouches and stuff the same color. So it stands out from the pants, but, like, I don't know, it's good enough. I have a hard time being a perfectionist on every single model, you know? But this guy, I'm definitely I'm putting my time into him. So, putting my time into him. Alright. So, I need contrast blue and I need contrast pink for these last bits. I'm done with yellow, I'm done with the red. And so for the contrast blue, I think I'm going to take it up to So I'm actually going to take this up to where his mohawk thing is. So basically where like the feathers on the head are. Just kind of do it like this. Actually, I kind of bring it all the way out to the head itself, down here on the bottom. Alright. And then blend the pink. So the voluptuous pink is, you don't want to paint it on directly, ever. So the pink is very super dark. My horrors, I actually lightened them up a lot before I painted them. And so I'm going to do the same thing here. Oop. Oh man, I lost so much contrast medium. Ugh. I'm so sad right now. And so as you guys can see, it's more like a purple than a pink, but when it dries, it does look much more pink. And it mixes really well with this blue, and it's actually turning like super dark purple. And so hopefully the head will turn out like more pink, whereas everywhere the contrast meets the blue will be more like purple. Shooting some plebs on Overwatch. Sorry, this is actually literally the last part of the model before we take a break from the stream today. Oh yeah, no, this would actually make a very good like gut color. That's true. That's actually a good idea. That is true. But if you want it to turn out more pink, you definitely don't want to put it directly on the model because it is very purpley. And a lot of people make a mistake, like if they're trying to do so. Like my pink horrors, I watered this down tremendously with the contrast medium before I put it on them, and then I highlighted them pink. And then they turned out really, really nice. And I've actually gotten asked how I did it because a lot of people have used the voluptuous pink and it doesn't turn out pink at all. And I told him it's because you're putting it directly on the model. You need to water it down, otherwise it's not going to turn out pink. It's going to turn out extremely purple, and then you're going to be sad because it says pink on the side of the bottle. But all right, and we are almost to a stopping point. So this will be the time when we let him dry up and let all these colors mesh together all nicely. And we'll get all these sweet fades, sweet wet blends that I wanted to make this guy look all watercolored. Alrighty. Sorry, I'm dabbing some of this off because it's really deep. Like, all this stuff's pulling up pretty badly. And so then I can show you guys. So I will be posting pictures of this guy up on Discord like I always do, just so you guys can see what we've basically accomplished in the last almost 3 hours. Almost 3 hours of streaming. But definitely have accomplished quite a bit today. You know, finally got the gall up to actually put some paint on him. And so, closing up all these contrast colors and getting them out of the way. And I'll show you guys where we're at. Let me go ahead and, we need better light, you know what I mean? So I'm letting the stream catch up to where I'm at, and then I'll just kind of showcase him. Come on, stream, catch up. Come on, stream. Stream. Alright. So the stream has now caught up. So that way I can actually see like where the camera's at. So you guys can see the purple or the pink from the head kind of blends into the neck. So a much deeper purple there, right there. The wings. So we got the nice fade, so it goes from blue to purple to like a pinkish red, down to orange, down to yellow on the bottom there. Now here on the inside here, you guys can see I got a little bit of green there, which is fine. Because really, he should be like prismatic colors, so not everything's going to be fades. I kind of messed up a little bit there. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Maybe when I highlight. Down here on the legs, we went from blue down to red on one side and then yellow. And then we meshed the blue and the yellow in the middle there. And then we went to red back down to yellow on the bottom of the legs. And so I did a bit of blending here on the insides. It's really subtle, but I didn't want it to look like just a straight, you know, we went from red to yellow or vice versa. I wanted it to kind of be shaded a bit. And so basically any part that's on the outside of him, I wanted it to be yellow. That way I kind of remain consistent, you know. On the inside here with the belly, you know, his little pot belly, it's yellow, fades out to a green. And then on the inside of his legs, you know, basically following that yellow down on to the inside there and then down to his feet. And then as you guys can see here, you know, we did the same. Oop. There's the blue is really pulling up right here. Let me go ahead and dab some of that off. Sorry, getting all that blue out of there. I don't want it to dry too dark right there. You know? So I'm pulling some blue out. Alright. Do a little bit over here too. I really need new brushes. That is my next thing that I'm gonna buy is new brushes. And so there we go. Voila! Phase 1 of Lord of Change complete. So the next phase will be to highlight. So I'm going to highlight all the skin. I'm going to highlight all the areas. So it's going to require multiple different colors of highlights. But it's going to really make these colors pop. So like the blue, for example, is going to look more like the blue for these blue horrors. So you guys might not be able to tell on camera the difference, but there is actually a big difference between these two. Because the highlight kind of makes that blue pop more. So and yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the live stream this time. Please, keep hanging out with me. We'll keep painting some stuff, and we'll get some good stuff done. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next stream.